Out of Heroes Hearth, this is Kyle Fergusson. I'm sitting down today with FlyestRaven from the in-houses, which are going on right now. Get excited for the upcoming season. FlyestRaven, you picked Zeratul late here. You're going to be doing some double soak for us. How you doing?
I am doing fine.
This is some stellar, really cool play. There's some awesome little moments in here of which we will talk about. But I guess to just get things going, isn't this team a little squishy? You're filling the role of a bruiser then?
Filling the role of an offlane, I don't think you necessarily have to have a bruiser. As long as everyone on your team can keep themselves alive, you don't need like a heavy front line. And Junkrat and Hanzo, they have the mobility to keep themselves alive, along with Anduin Paul.
So it's more that they're so far back that they won't be taking damage. Muradin sustains himself with the help of Anduin, and then you just keep your health high enough that you're not going to be in trouble or burden the team during your double soak.
Yeah, pretty much. Just gotta not take too much damage to you while we're double soaking, and it's all fine.
So that was a cool little move there. You teleport over the wall, I assume just to speed up the double soak.
Yeah, it's a short cooldown. It'll be up and by the time you get to the mid soak, and might as well do it to speed up rotations and keep up with soak.
Here they try to bully you out a little bit, so you're zoned out your XP. My guess is that this would cause you to maybe lose 1 or 2 globes in the top, but still a successful double soak.
Yeah, I think I ended up missing 2, but at the same time they were late on the camp while we got ours right away, so
that's fair. They spent people trying to control you at that moment.
Yeah.
Now,
and we dismount ERL there on the rotation because dismounting people trying to double soak is kind of really big in the offlane.
Yeah, I guess, and then you have the stealth for your double soak rotation, so you don't get as dismounted as much. That seems like an advantage.
It's kind of hard for the other offlane to dismount me, because especially when you blink to start the rotation.
So here you're essentially pushed out, and you're going down to see if you can help clean this up in advance. Your team's rotating pretty well, so this is all getting pretty busy right now.
Yeah, trying to keep up with double soak, but it's a little rough when you're trying to do it against like multiple when they're doing it as 5, they just clear faster, right? So it's just I can't keep up with both lanes if it's my whole team's bot and they're just doing that.
Was that an intentional dodge of the Righteous Hammer, or was that by chance?
I mean, it was intentional I didn't like perfectly try to time it, but it was intentional. Like if I don't do it now, it's gonna happen, and that's gonna be a lot of damage. So
right.
But yeah, it's not like I can't time it that perfectly. I don't have like the god reflex of gods or anything, but that's when the right time would be to do it.
And it does seem like, I mean, mana-wise anyway, you're trading really well with your Rel. She's kind of running out of resources before you are, and you're getting access to all these orbs. So, you know, no heavy burden in that way. You have used it well. Let's talk about those orbs for a hot moment too, because you picked up the Shadow Hunter. When normally on a double soak, like super late games there till you won't see me until level 20, I see more of a greater cleave kind of build come out.
Yeah, cleave build is better for double soaking, but this is still, Zera can still double soak with any build. It's early game, whether you take cleave or not, it's going to take 2 Qs to clear the wave, no matter what.
Okay.
In this game, this is much stronger late game against that comp than Q build.
That's not bad. So thinking about the cleaves there, so it's 1 cleave, kind of prep the lane with some auto attacks, kind of spread them around, so the second cleave gets you in range of 1 more auto attack or just cleans up.
Yeah. And we can't match Zeratul here because they have 7 before us, and Zera really can't fight early game until you have your Globe Quest done. It's really hard to fight on Zeratul until you have Globe Quest.
So let's talk about that.
You got 7.
You got regeneration globes, lower the mana cost. Level up there. Upon gathering 15 regeneration globes, basic attacks reduce the cooldown of blink. So that's a huge part of how you would engage in the first place then.
Yeah, if you don't have the Globe Quest, at level 7 you can still do some stuff, but you have like 1 rotation of abilities and then you're AFK for like 10 seconds waiting for cooldowns. Whereas now with the quest done, you can kind of go in like that, and I can go in, kill him, and I'll get my blink back up to escape.
And those auto attacks sustain you in order to get out. So otherwise, you can't get out after you go in. That makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so you get globes through the double soak. Any build can double soak. So awesome. You got double soak and globes. That's great. Then you go into Psionic Strength. Dealing damage to enemy heroes increases all damage dealt, stacking to 30%. Oh, this isn't even tied to any sort of CC. This is just a damage ability.
Yeah, it's just a lot of damage. An insane amount of damage, really, once you get it stacked up. It's kind of insane.
Would you recommend for a newer double soak Zeratul to go that kind of greater cleave, rending cleave? Does that make things easier or cut down on the number of spins you need to clear a lane, or does it really just break even?
At some point it cuts down to where you only need 1 Q. I don't know the exact level, to be honest, but I would say any new Zeratul should probably just go with Q build and VP. That's the easiest way to learn the hero, and then once you're comfortable with that, you can try doing Might of the Nerazim in this build.
That's fair, and I look forward to seeing some of the tomfoolery you can get up with extra buttons like that. You grabbed Wormhole. After 1.25 seconds, reactivate Blink to return to the point where it was cast within 4 seconds. So you've got a required engage time. You have to be invested for a certain amount of time at the very least.
Yeah.
But now you can disengage, re-engage. So you engage, you auto attack, you can bail for a short amount of time, use your 1 to go back in. The auto attacks you're doing allow you to go back in again.
It's a lot. There's a lot of different ways you can do it too.
That's really busy. So Vorpal Blade has its own cooldown of 15 seconds.
Yeah.
So what would, if you were to run down like your basic, kind of Kael'thas combo engage, this button, this button, this button, what would it look like?
You're starting with the blink most of the times. That's if you can get on Kael'thas without blinking, great. But you're gonna start with your blink, get an auto off. Then you want to Q auto. You gotta weave in the autos after every ability, or you're missing a lot of damage. W auto, and then at that point it's all situational. Whether you need to take your wormhole back or if you can just sit on them.
Now here,
I tend to save my Nerazim a lot until I need it.
Yeah, I'm noticing that here because my first thought was, oh, well, you're sitting on a second cleave, so I expected you to double cleave that lane and call it good. But you're actually holding off in case of gank, and this has
gank and kill potential. It speeds up the clear double cleaving, but not by much, very little. And you can do it in some situations. It's not a long cooldown, but
something might happen in the next 20 seconds because Might of the Nerazim has its own cooldown.
Exactly, yeah.
And then
you mentioned the mouth played it well. Like that's something you have to do against there. It's if you have like Junkrat traps, a mouth and I get my auto, you gotta sit on your roots, otherwise you're kind of just dead.
That makes perfect sense. So the passive here, your next basic attack within 6 seconds deals 30% more damage. Not only are you actually weaving an auto attack because it's efficient, because there's an animation, you might as well get them out, but you're also taking advantage of a whole nother level of Might of the Nerazim.
Yeah, exactly. That's the whole point. You have to weave in autos after every. You don't have to, but it's generally best to weave in autos in between every ability for that crit.
And since
that's why even on this camp, you see me just blinking for crits, and it costs no mana because of the level 1 as well.
Yeah.
So just blink. When you can.
And you're walking away with full health. So you blinked so you could get an auto attack, which is empowered because basic attacks are now healing for 35%. You now healed based on that. Empowered auto attack. Is this a Psionic Strength? It's only enemy heroes. Okay, so that doesn't help with camps, but still.
No. It is the only level 4 that doesn't help with camps. And here I obviously misplay it pretty badly. I maybe didn't even need to take that wormhole, but I felt like I needed to get my auto off for another blink because I didn't think I was out. But that as well as a combination of just not respecting the Twilight Dream.
And you didn't go down to it, but it cost the Anduin leap of faith, and then also the Pyroblast. Was that a surprise there? And can you dodge it? Is that capable?
No, I think you used to be able to like perfect blink frame it, but I'm pretty sure they took that out a while ago.
I wouldn't have the expectation on you all the same. If you had missed, I wasn't gonna blame you if it was capable. It is a tiny window if it existed at all. So, looking at the enemy side, have you kind of picked your target at this point? Is there any like tab screen you're hitting to say, hey, I look at this enemy team, I see Tracer's top damage, or is it just hero knowledge? I want to kill Kael'thas because it's Kael'thas.
Generally, you're talking about like who the best kill target is.
Yeah.
Generally, I'd say Mouth is the best.
Okay.
Yeah, because he can cleanse his team, and he is the squishiest because Kael'thas has a shield. So just getting him down would be the best.
Okay, hang on a sec. We're gonna go back. We're gonna go back, and we're gonna.
I was caught up in trying to.
No. What you were doing was great. You were explaining exactly what I was asking about. I want to just like spacebar you here because I have no idea where you are. So you res back up, and you're heading in. You mentioned Mouth is probably your primary target, but any squishy's gonna do.
Yeah.
There's a stun. You attach yourself to Mouth. Now you are fake disengaging to dodge various abilities. Go back in. This was a blink out, but you used it.
Yeah. I agree. This is bad. Like that's just greed. I should just fight the heroes that are still in the fight. But I knew there was a chance I could kill the KT, and I'm a greedy and for fun player. So.
Nothing wrong with that. It's amazing how much healing you're getting through your mending strikes with this build.
Yeah, that's why you have to weave in all the autos too. It's for the sustain, for the damage, for the cooldowns.
But where are you off to now? Don't you? So you're gonna go. Okay, so you got a well, and your auto attacks will provide the rest. So you're gonna get right back to stoking.
Yeah, that's what I love about Zera is you have very little times where you have to back. You can almost always just stay on the map and do stuff.
Coming up on level 16 here, you're going to pick Master Warp Blade. Every third consecutive basic attack against the same target deals bonus damage. More mending strikes, more goodness. Anything else to this you like?
Just insane damage. It's a good PvE damage as well. It's like some of the best core damage in the game, I think.
Oh, look at that. Yeah, it's non-heroic. So yeah, and I noticed that in the end here. Spoiler alert, but we do tend to watch winning games. You kind of get to just lock on like we see, well, Falstads when our lightning rod was insane, but you know, Greymanes, Illidan's, like once you're on that thing, it's going down.
Yeah, it's a lot of damage, a lot of sustain, and a lot of mobility on core with this build. So it's very hard to get a Zera off core if he gets there freely.
As we've seen your build come together, is there any deviation points or anything very particular to this matchup that you changed?
I mean, this is the standard build right now. If you're not going Q build, I think it's the quote-unquote cure build. It's it's the most reliable build as far as single target damage is concerned. But I go W build a lot. You just change the 7 and the 16 to the W talents.
Okay, that give you kind of more stickiness then?
It gives you, I wouldn't say more stickiness. It does give you an extra blink because Seeker can be used in game. You have 2 abilities that blink, as well as it's more burst. It's more burst, but then you have like your autos. They still hurt, but they don't do as much because you don't have the 16.
Yeah, so with that, you would be missing. Well, you'd still get mending strikes, so no problem there. But you wouldn't have the Master Warp Blade, so a little more get in, get out, rather than what you're doing here, which is get in, get out, get in, get out, get in, get out, and sustain yourself along the way.
Yeah, pretty much.
So things might be reaching some silly levels here. You got a 2-level lead on your Zeratul. You have map control. Is there anything that is concerning you here? What are you watching for on the enemy side?
The only thing that threatens Zera this game is Dream and Pyroblast. Okay. That's really it. Like you LW kind of, but that shouldn't really be a threat if you're positioning well. Blessed would generally be one, but I think they wanted the Falling Sword for the arrow and the light bomb threats to protect the mouth. So this game, it's literally just Dream and Pyroblast that I'm watching out for, and of course like the roots and stuff. But
Is Johanna allowing you to get by her easily? I know that Johanna kind of struggles to hold on to a front line. Is there another tank that would shut down Zeratul more?
Joe's good at shutting down Zera because of the blinds. But that's really it. Blinds and Blessed. But if you don't have Blessed, then it's really just the blinds, and you have to be close to your DPS, as you saw. KT was not close to his team there, so
Yeah.
it's not gonna, and no tank's gonna help him there. But I'd say Joe's probably one of the best at shutting down this build in particular. But then you could just go Q build, and it's not a big deal.
Right, and she's probably not using a lot of blinds on, well, you know, on Hanzo and whatnot. He definitely has some throughput here. Oh my goodness.
I got saved on my end with it. I should be fine there, but I walked into the route, and I could have just double blinked instead of wormholing and trying to outplay and be fancy.
And nothing wrong with being fancy.
As I said, like to have fun, pet limits, and go for kills. So.
Well, and your time to engage is so long with this build, it seems like blinds would be not as powerful. Again, you're not really attaching anything to your autos like, say, a Maiev or even a Ragnaros is.
Yeah, the blinds aren't, like, devastating. They are annoying. Like, in the mid-fight earlier, when I went for the greed on the KT, one of the reasons I went for that greed is because he lived on one because I got double blinded to stop me from getting my autos off. But obviously that's just one factor. If you want to kill Zera, that's just to like help you live. If you want to kill Zera, you're probably gonna need like a Garrosh who can just throw taunt, or a I mean, Varian's alright if you can reach him, but generally Varian's gonna have a hard time.
Yeah, you're gonna kind of kite and stay out of that range then.
Yeah. The best hero against Zeratul is Brightwind by far. No one else in the game really does as good against Zera as Brightwind does.
That makes perfect sense because that's where you want to be engaging there in the back line with the squishies. We'll let the core explode in a moment. However, right now you appear to not exist. Oh, you're on the other side of the screen. You performed a light bomb combo, which I've seen Hortipult light bomb, I've seen falling sword light bomb, and all of them are really hard to pull off. The Zeratul one looked really easy in comparison.
Yeah, there's, in my opinion, the best light bomb target in the game. There's a lot of other good ones like Genji, Joe with Falling Sword is alright if you're coordinated enough. Even Murder in this game, I think most of them went on him, besides that last one. But Zera, like, you just have a point and click instant teleport to get the light bomb wherever you want it. So.
Yeah. And so you guys did get 20 here. You end up grabbing Shadow Stride. Was this what you normally do, or is this more of a game's ending, I'm going to click a button?
No, this is the standard talent right now.
Okay.
You could go Nerazim still with this build, like Nerazim rewind at 20. That's an option. I think this talent's just generally a little better though, but I don't know how to put into words why. So just the shield is nice, I guess, but you could go either. But this is the standard.
Okay, so Vorpal Blade goes from 15 seconds to 5 seconds. Casting Vorpal Blade grants Zeratul a shield, absorbing 593 damage for 3 seconds. Well, if you're healing underneath it, you're getting wild on people. You're teleporting, what, 3? Well, we got wormholes, so you got 4 teleports, plus an every 5 seconds Vorpal Blade. I can see why you would enjoy this.
Yeah, you have infinite blinks almost, basically.
Does Vorpal Blade work on anything? Non-structures. Okay.
Non-structures. But what you can do, as I did in the end fight is you can still like auto attack a hero, then go back to auto and structures, and it's not going to remove your Vorpal. Your Vorpal is just going to sit on that hero for the normal 3-second duration.
Ah, because yes. So you would have to worry about accidentally hitting a minion then.
Yeah, if you hit a minion, then your Vorpal goes to the minion. But if you just you could like hit a hero, go back and hit the building if you can't chase them too much, if you don't want to just straight Vorpal onto them, and like say, just get your blink cooldown back before you take the Vorpal by hitting the structure or something like that.
Well, for how much siege damage you got in with that early double soaking too, like this is a really solid damage mark to hit, overlapping Junkrat, who was basically with the 4-man the whole time.
Yeah, 16 you can start doing damage at level 4. Level 4 is insane, but 16 is when you just do like an OP amount of damage, insane amount.
That's awesome. So any advice for hopeful Zeratools watching this video who say, man, I really want to learn Zeratul, where do I start?
Let's say I'd start Q build. That's like the easiest build. You just press Q on more than one person. You have VP. After you're comfortable with that, well, I'll say the standard combo for that is wormhole in, Q, wormhole out, Warple, Q, VP, reset your Q again. And then after you're standard with Q build, comfortable with Q build, you could start trying the Nerazine builds with W or wormhole and the cooldown at 1. And it's really just like a lot of playing the hero and figuring out your limits.
That limit testing.
Figuring out your cooldowns. But you just got to figure out your limits, how much damage you do to each hero at certain points of the game. And a dodging CC is your main objective on there, though. You can't get hit by CC or you're dead.
Fair enough. Good rundown. Thank you all for watching here at Heroes Hearth. There's going to be more Learn to Play videos coming up. And of course, that CCL season on the horizon. Be sure to like, subscribe, ring that bell here at Heroes Hearth. And we'll see you soon.